underneath that cowling, and there's another GTC car in trouble as well.
Yeah, this is the NGT car, one of my favourite.
Fastest qualifier in the class.
Sean Edwards broke the qualifying lap record, but one of his teammates hadn't been in the car, so they were effectively disbarred from that session and had to start at the back of the grid. And it would appear, I'm afraid, that it hasn't been all good news for the NGT car that comes back into pit lane now. And, well, that car didn't seem to be running with Carlos Kauffmann at the wheel quite as well as it should have been. And he's taken the opportunity to come straight along pit lane. What happened? Look in the background for the dark coloured car. Oh, now,
was he assisted?
Did he jump or was he pushed? Takes out one of the sponsor signs. That was Guy Cosmo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
right
the
up his
O2
tailpipe.
car.
Oh, and Guy Cosmo battling there had just got past Wolf Hensler as well. So Wolf Hensler's been shuffled back down.
Bobby Rahal is on the radios with his drivers. He's saying, come on, guys, this is a sprint race now. Need you to pack them up. When we go back green, it's time to go racing. We need to keep our championship alive.
I mean, they can't afford to do anything stupid, Jeremy. That's the thing. He's leading the race, but for example, if Jamie Mello gets to him, Jamie Mello getting ahead of him is not the worst thing that can happen to that car. It's the 56 and Jan Magnussen that have got to keep fighting. Sean Edwards there in the 30. That car's come from the very back to the very front of the GTC field. Sean broke the lap record but wasn't allowed to keep it because one of his teammates hadn't driven, and now he's the man who's leading because he's the first class leader in the line, and he'll see the green flag first.
That's right, and Jerome Blake, a model for Blackstone Racing, he made a pit stop under this caution. That is why Sean Edwards is leading in GT Challenge.
Let's just hope that he can go all the way as we get the news that Tommy Milner has retired in the number 3 GM Chevy Corvette after that incident we saw earlier on. Look at the leaders, first and second just going through turn number 1. There's the battle in LMP2 is right in there as well. So many battles around the circuit. Gunnar Jeanette back in there as well, although of course he's laps down now in that 06 car. Look out for the 63 of Eric Lux and the number 52 of Butch Leitzinger as through comes Klaus Graf in the black and white muscle milk Aston Martin racing car, and Guy Smith desperately trying to hang on to his coattails.
Yeah, can they make it through the traffic? Good work there by Klaus Graf.
Great work.
Gets a couple of cars between himself and Guy Smith to go up the hill.
No Guy.
There's a GT car passing a GTC car. No room for Guy Smith. That'll cost him a couple of seconds as well.
But meantime, the leader's been held up. He's going to drop like a stone.
And that does affect how the tyres react. Look at this. There's 63. That's the class leader in
and there's Butch.
LMP Challenge. Yeah, 2 cars behind him. The blue and black car is Butch Leitzinger trying to track down Eric Lux, who's taken over the 63 Genoa racing car from Elton Juliet during that round of pit stops. And look at this lot.
And Frankie Montecalvo's in there, the 3rd place car. But meantime, the GT battle carries on with the Corvette, the Falcon Tyres Porsche and the BMW all together going round the TRG Porsche. Oh, that's a fabulous move! A fabulous move there by the 17. Wolf Hensler goes through a space that simply did not exist. What did he do? Did he pull the lever and make the car 2 inches narrower than it should have been? Wolf Hensler has been absolutely on fire these last couple of races. As I said, he passed 12 cars under the most extreme wet conditions we've ever seen in the American Le Mans Series whilst we were racing. 12 cars in a single lap to get through to the lead at Mid-Ohio, a race that ultimately he won. And there, he's proved that a Porsche isn't actually as wide as we thought it was. I need to see that again because I actually don't understand the physics of how he did that.
It was fantastic, but we heard Brian Sellers say a little while ago, yeah, that victory at Mid-Ohio just gives them both drivers a little bit of extra edge of confidence, and that is what showed there. That was a really opportunistic pass by Wolf Hensler. Unfortunately, he was held up a little bit coming out of the carousel. Once again, that's just going to happen. You've got to live with that and get on with it and make the ground up again. But what fabulous battling this is.
One. Will he do it at turn number 2? Meantime, a new leader. We spoke about this. Sean Edwards leading the GTC category, and this is just reward for a lap record that he hasn't been given. because of the fact that one of his teammates didn't drive the car. Sean Edwards doing a great job for this new team, or newish team, to the American Le Mans Series.
Just their second start in the American Le Mans Series. They've been regulars in the GT3 Cup Series over the last couple of years. They won the championship with Henrique Cisneros last year, and Cisneros and Kauffmann and Sean Edwards, a fabulous job.
And he's got a big lead there as well, Jeremy.
Oh, yes.
What a great story this number 30 in GT Motorsports team is. But I just checked in with the team. I said, are you guys good on fuel to the end of the race? Ramez, the team owner, he said, can I be honest? Right now, we're not in the points chase, so we're going to take a gamble. If we get another yellow flag, we'll be okay. Right now, though, they're not sure.
Well, he's got a big gap, actually. 5 seconds at the moment, so he can't pace himself. It is in, come on, in GTC, half a second would be decent at the moment. I mean, he can pace himself a little bit. What he's got to be careful is if he does get somebody within striking distance when leaders come by or faster cars.
And here is the second place car, yeah. That is the second, and is it third place car? No, it's not. So that's the second place car. That is Spencer Pumpelly there for the Racers Group, TRG. This Porsche here, the blue and black and red car, that is second in the class in GT Challenge. About 5 seconds behind, about 6 seconds behind him is Jeroen Bleekemolen for Black Swan Racing. In the car number 54, they are third in GT Challenge.
Yeah, the 34 car, the Black Swan Green Hornet car, dropped a little bit of time when Jaap van Lagen charging was up to third, just than the Porsche last time around. GTC, very tight indeed for the lead as the Racers Group car has caught Sean Edwards, and Spencer Pumpelly is on a real mission to make it another victory for the 66.
3 in a row is what Spencer Pumpelly and Duncan Ender are after in that TRG car. That is Sean Edwards. He leads the way there in car number 30, but Pumpelly has really closed that margin down over the last few laps. We heard the team manager say that the number 30 car was pretty close on fuel. So is Sean Edwards just trying to nurse it to the end and just go as fast as he needs to try and get to the end without using all of his fuel?
It's brave, isn't it, if he's doing that. Just behind them, Jaap van Lagen in the bright green Hornet car. He is not in that fight. He's down in 5th position and a couple of laps down, but just behind him is Jeroen Bleekemolen. Now he is in that fight. He is in 3rd position overall, and of course his team leader Tim Pappas is leading the Drivers' Championship at the moment. And I'm just wondering if Van Lagen is just dragging Jeroen Bleekemolen even closer, and Bleekemolen's getting a bit of a tow from him, because he seems to be closing down. Yes, there he is. Just at the back of those 4 GTC Porsches. We're going to have 3 cars battling for the GTC lead in about a lap or so.
That's right, that car there, the Green Hornet car, that is several laps off the pace, but these two are out in front. They are battling for the lead in GT Challenge, and that white, green and black car, Jeroen Bleekemolen, the 2-time Porsche Super Cup champion, is trying to close in, and he's trying to get another victory for that team. He had a stellar season last year for Black Swan Racing. He and Tim Pappas won the championship in GT Challenge, and they haven't given up yet this year either.
And Bleekemolen is a full second a lap quicker than these 2 cars ahead of him. In fact, Jaap van Lagen's pretty much a second, 8 or 9 tenths. So Bleekemolen needs to get by Van Lagen. Oh, brilliant stuff by Jaap. That is classy. They are teammates effectively, but he's shown heads-up driving there, allowed Bleekemolen to go through.
Yep, and they're both driving for Black Swan Racing. You're right, the Green Hornet car is run by Black Swan Racing now, and it's actually Jaap van Lagen who has set the fastest lap in GT Challenge in this race. So heads up there, get out of the way, let Jeroen Bleekemolen see if he can track down these 2 leaders. What a battle we have here in GT Challenge.
And at the head of the field, Guy Smith has been putting very quick laps in again, and he's closed it back to Klaus Graf down to 1.2 seconds. We'll check
outside line there for TRG. The car we're looking at right now in the foreground of this picture, leading GT Challenge, or second place I should say, in GT Challenge. And look how Bleekemolen has closed in on him. So these 3 cars here is virtually nose to tail now for the lead in GT Challenge. But it was Spencer Pumpelly that made that move possible for Wolf Henser by just giving him a Porsche.
Graf is driving. Oh my, look at GTC. There goes the Bleekemolen car. That's a new second place there if he can make that stick. Pumpelly moves from second to third, and that means Black Swan goes up into second place. Sean Edwards still leading in the black and red car as the BMW GT car is trying to get involved there. And look at this. Here's the leaders through the kink. And again, Smith gets a good run, almost too good a run. May have had to just lift out slightly. He's not there. He's not going to make it. It can only be traffic. And the 40 Robertson racing car is ahead of them. Will that be a factor? Oh, and Sean Edwards has been called for blocking at the end of the race. What a disaster for them. They have had no luck with the officials this weekend. Guy Smith's going to try and do the underneath manoeuvre through the final corner. There is traffic ahead. It is a long run to the pits. Oh, and Klaus Graf's got to be careful. He can't make another move. And look at this, nose to tail. They're tied together. It looks like the Aston Martin is towing near the car.
Each other, so be careful.
Oh, that's magnificent stuff.
Oh, wow.
And Sean Edwards won't serve the penalty. He's just run out of fuel. 2 laps from the end. He's done a muscle milk from last year.
Tyre.
In fact, he's got a right rear puncture. Somebody's run into him. That's what's happened. Oh, what an up and down race for them. So Black Swan will win. Black Swan will win GT. Jamie Mellow's already gone through to win GT for Reese, and Dirk Werner and Dirk Muller will come through. And I think the Reese car might be short on fuel as well. He's gone berserk in the Reese cockpit. Is Jamie Mellow. 1/10 of a second, 1/10 of a second between Klaus Graf and Guy Smith after 4 hours plus of racing. Don't ever tell me that endurance racing is not exciting.